Violence against women and girls have reached alarmingly high levels, according to the United Nations. At least 1 in 3 women have suffered attacks worldwide. Hello, I'm Anand Naidu in Washington, D.C., and this is The Heat. A documentary about the brutal gang rape and murder of a young woman in India is making international headlines. The film India's Daughter is currently banned in that country. It includes a powerful and detailed account of what happened that night from the jailed rapist himself. It's a documentary that's not only close to the hearts of many Indians, but has also struck a chord with people around the world. CCTV Shraysi Tandon reports.
India's Daughter recounts the harrowing rape case of Jyoti Singh, a 23-year-old girl who was a promising Indian medical student. News of Singh's deadly gang rape in 2012 created international uproar and sparked protests in one of the largest democracies in the world. Millions of Indians took to the streets in the weeks following the rape, all of them demanding justice. India's government acted fast. Within weeks, all of the accused were arrested and charged with murder. 9 months later, they were found guilty, sentenced to death by hanging. The documentary by British film director Leslie Udwin has brought the issue back to light. The film's most powerful elements include an interview with one of the convicted killers, Mukesh Singh.
ताली कभी एक हाथ से नहीं बजती, दोनों हाथों से बजती है। ये चीज़ देखी जाए। अगर कोई शरीफ लड़की होती है रात को 9 बजे मतलब नहीं घूमती है। लड़के भी उतने उससे ज़्यादा जिम्मेदार है रेप के लिए, ये लड़के हैं उससे ज़्यादा।
If you put your diamond on the street, certainly the dog will take it out. You can't stop.
The film reignited public anger. The Indian government banned the broadcast of India's Daughter across the country.
The government has taken necessary legal action and obtained a restraining order from the court disseminating the contents of the film.
The ban didn't stop Indians from watching the film as it quickly spread across social media, thwarting official efforts to block it. Many celebrities, politicians, and human rights lawyers, both in India and around the world, have defended the film, highlighting its underlying message.
This is a bigger problem of gender inequality, and it is important to note that this is not just the case in India. This is going on around the world, and that's why we have rates of violence against women that are very high around the world.
According to the National Crime Records Bureau, an average of 92 women are raped in India every day. Despite rising levels of education, violence against women is increasing. In 2012, there were almost 25,000 rape cases reported in India. In 2013, nearly 34,000. The numbers are equally grim around the world. According to the United Nations, 1 in 3 women is beaten, forced into sex, or abused. And 1 in 5 will become a victim of rape or attempted rape.
Domestic violence and sexual violence are symptoms of a bigger problem, and that bigger problem is gender inequality. And this is particularly so in India, where there has been a preference for boys over girls.
In order to stem the epidemic of violence against women, the Indian government set up a panel led by former Chief Justice of India, J.S. Verma. The panel drafted a 600-page report, and India's parliament passed new laws in 2013. Some of the new legislation targets stalking, disrobing, voyeurism, and the use of acid. The laws also state all healthcare workers must give victims of sexual violence and acid attacks free and immediate medical care. The laws also increase jail terms for rape. Marital rape, however, is still legal, unless the couple is separated.
What they really need to work on now is implementing those laws, making sure that those laws are being implemented on the streets by your police officers, your local prosecutors, so that they can really make those laws keep their promise.
As the team behind India's Daughter continues to fight to have the ban lifted, other prominent Indians are also fighting for a change in attitude.
This is the thinking, unfortunately. Yes. We need to have programs in our schools, ma'am. We need to have programs in our schools so that mindset change is brought about, and also with the elders of the village, because those are generations which have already reached a point, right from childhood, so that they respect women, they realize consent belongs to the women, and the right to how she dresses, how she speaks belongs to her.
Jyoti Singh's tragic rape case, which took place 3 years ago, has once again sparked a global conversation on the issue of violence against women. India's daughter is not just about addressing the issue of violence against women, it's also about addressing the deep-rooted cultural traditions and the lack of education that affect India's sons. Shraysi, Tandon, CCTV, New York.